Hi there, welcome back to Let's Cook with Michelle. Today I'm going to make a simple recipe that I found. It was called Cowboy beans. I know some people kind of objected and called it chili because it's got ground beef in it, but in objection, it's got barbecue and ketchup and brown sugar in it, so that's not really chili. So,
well, you didn't find it, I did.
Okay. Mr. Krabby Patty wants to make sure he gets his recognition. Gary found the recipe and sent it to me for cowboy beans. So this is Gary's inspiration for my recipe today. So I've got my pan ready to go, got all my things all nice and chopped. Gary chops these things. Give him his credit. So I'm gonna go ahead and cook the bacon first. I got some 16 ounces of low sodium bacon. That's my choice. You use your choice of bacon, whatever you prefer. But I like low sodium bacon so it's not as salty.
I was to tell you, the viewers that your dog shit all over the deck and I stepped in it.
My puppy that I got, Gary's not a big fan of dogs, so he continues to tell me it's your dog, your dog. Well, so my puppy, I ran to the store, I was doing something, I don't know, I was getting dressed, I was doing something, but the dog decided he needed to poop on the deck. He doesn't need to poop in the whole big ass yard he has, he had to poop on the deck, so of course, the hub steps in it. So now I get to clean his shoes off later. Good times. We have a dog, good times. So we're just gonna cook this bacon, there he is. We're just gonna cook this bacon down a little bit, get this a little bit brown, a little bit crispy, and then we'll take it, set it aside, and keep all the grease and juice in the pan for the recipe moving forward. So I'm gonna give this a few minutes and then we'll come back.
Is this one fine? You want me to move it?
I don't know, you look at the view, does it make me look like a freaking hippopotamus?
Go ahead.
The bacon it's got a nice brown to it, a crisp to it, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the bacon out, set it aside, and keep all of the juice and oil in here to start cooking my veggies and ground beef. So I'm just gonna take this bacon out and set it aside. You can tell it's got a little bit of a crisp to it. You know, I don't want it to be soggy when the beans are done. I want it to have a decent crisp to it. So I cooked it until it had a decent amount of brown to it. I'm going to set my bacon aside. Now I'm going to do my onion. And my ground beef. This is 1 pound of ground beef. Your choice of leanness. This is 80%, I believe. Alright, I saved my spatula. It's going to be easier to chop this up as it cooks. And I do have seasonings that I'm adding in after a little bit. So right now, I'm not adding the seasonings in. But I have a lot of different things that I'm adding to this. So no, it will not be unseasoned. Once this has just a little bit of pink left, which is very, very soon here, we'll add in the rest of the ingredients, which will be my red pepper and jalapenos. So we can get a little bit of a cook on those before we put those in the smoker. This is my first time trying these Cowboy baked beans, but they look so good. Like all the different things in them. You know, some people may call it chili because it's got ground beef in it, but I object. It's got different things in it that don't make it chili.
It's chili if you put it in a pan on the stove. How about that?
No, like chili doesn't have barbecue sauce and ketchup and brown sugar and mustard.
Well,
Who puts that in their chili? Who puts that in their chili?
Somebody does.
Shh! I object. I don't put those things in my chili. So to me, whatever. It can be your beans, it can be your chili. Whatever floats your skirt. Alright, jalapeno. 2 jalapenos and garlic. I'd say 2 tablespoons of fresh garlic. I call it fresh. No, I didn't chop it. It came from a jar that said fresh minced garlic. That's my garlic. Alright, and then, so I've got jalapeno, garlic, and red pepper. Some people like green pepper. I'm more of a red pepper person. So I've got red pepper here. Alright, saute this up a little bit. Let these things get a little softened before we put them in the pan. I'm excited to put them on the smoker. It's going to be really good. You can opt to put this in your oven if you would like. I'd say maybe 375 for about an hour in the oven, but I want to put it on the smoker with something else that I'm cooking today, so make sure you check that out. I am making some ribs on the smoker today. That's going to be a separate video, so make sure you check that out. Let's let this kind of cook down a little bit, let the veggies kind of soften. Alright, we'll let that go a couple minutes. Next, I have about a tablespoon of chili powder, about maybe half a teaspoon of pepper, about a teaspoon of salt. I've got the seasonings added. I'm going to let this cook for just a couple more minutes, and then we'll get everything put together in my disposable metal pan, where I'm going to put the beans, seasonings, all the good stuff together.
Why are you arguing with me, sir?
My job.
Here's a bowl that's almost big enough for your ego.
Are you seeing this guy? Like, I don't know how I live with him. I'm a saint. I have become a part of the sainthood.
Oh, you're such a Christian lady.
Sometimes you can just be so freaking difficult. And you love it. Alright, I'm going to put all of these things into my bowl so I can mix them well before I put them in the pan that we're going to smoke them in. So, I am going to dump in this fabulous mix into my bowl. 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar. About 2 tablespoons of mustard. Nice thing about cooking is you can change it to whatever you like, what you have on hand, what your flavor preferences are. These are just the things that we want to add today. So, all right, I have a cup of Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. I have a half cup of ketchup. About a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and about a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. All right, gonna give our base a little bit of a mix here. You definitely could switch up your vegetables. You could do green pepper. I am more of a red pepper person, so I decided I wanted red pepper in here. The bacon I had set aside. And get that put in. 2 cans of Bush's beans. I have, this one's original and it's 28 ounces, the original. I think I might have 2 different kinds, we'll see. And this one is original. Okay, I guess they're both the same, where they have bacon and brown sugar. So I opted for 2 of those, 28 ounces with bacon and brown sugar. They have ones without those, so you can do whatever flavor you like. Last 2 cans, I have Bush's cannellini beans, 15 ounces, this one. And Mrs. Grimes' dark red kidney beans, no salt added, 15 ounce. You don't have to do no salt added, it's just what I have. I also did low sodium bacon, it's just my choices. Okay, so I'm just going to get this mixed. You can make it in your oven if you want, but I am making ribs, like I said, for a separate video, so I thought, let's just throw this in the smoker with the ribs. Perfect timing. Super excited to try this. Looks like it has lots of flavor. So I'm going to pop this in the smoker with the setting that I have my ribs on, which is 225 for 2 hours. My ribs are going to cook a little bit longer than the beans, but at least we can get the beans going in part of the time of the ribs.
No.
Don't
worry about that.
Pan?
No.
Well, I'm doing it.
Why? What's the point?
So it won't stick to the pan.
Who cares? Throw the pan
Burn the
away.
pan. Anyway. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get this dumped into my pan that I'm going to put in the smoker. So, I'm going to put foil over these.
Are you not?
Okay. I'm not going to put foil on these. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pop these on the smoker, like I said, 2 hours. I'll get my ribs put in here shortly. Let's get these beans started. Check them out later. All right, The Cowboy baked beans are done. They've been smoking for a couple of hours in my smoker along with my ribs. You can check out the ribs in a different video, but let's taste these beans. These look really good. Don't need a bunch of them, but I can smell the jalapeno. When I brought these in from outside, I could smell the jalapeno. All right. Those are really good. There's a lot of flavor in there with all those different things in there with the onions and the pepper and the bacon. I love having that red pepper in there and the jalapeno. That gives it some flavor. Really good. If you like really sweet baked beans, you know, on the sweeter side, you could add a little bit more brown sugar, but for me, I think it's great just this way. Definitely try this one out. Take this to a get-together. Definitely a win-win. As always, please check out all my other content on Let's Cook with Michelle. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok. All my full videos are always on YouTube. Have a good day.